Hello everyone, welcome to ICIC Guide to Success. Today's chapter is Force. This chapter is the first chapter of Concise Physics. In Force, we learn about linear or translation motions. First topic is linear or translation motion. So, when a force acts on a stationary rigid body which is free to move, the body starts moving in a straight path in the direction of the force. Suppose you are applying the force in this direction and this body will move in the right direction, in the same direction that is. Next we'll talk about rotational motion. If a body is pivoted at a point and a force is applied on the body at a suitable point, it rotates the body about the axis passing through the pivoted point. So this would be the axis. It would be a straight line and the body would move in this direction. Factors affecting the turning of body. The turning of body is due to the torque applied. First of all is the magnitude of force applied. Secondly, it would be the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the axis of rotation. So this would be the line of action of force and this will be the axis of rotation. So AB is the axis of rotation and both of them would be perpendicular to each other. The SI unit of moment of force is Newton meter, or you can write also in the expanded form. 1 kilogram force into meter is equal to 9.8 Newton meter. 1 Newton meter is 10 raised to 7 9 centimeter. Now let's learn about the two different moments, anti-clockwise moment and clockwise moment. If the effect of body is to turn anti-clockwise, the moment is outwards, and the effect of body is to turn it clockwise, then the moment is inwards. This is positive while this is negative. Please note that moment of force is a vector quantity. Next, the direction of rotation of a body can be changed by changing the point of application of force. It can be changed by changing the point of application of force. For example, you are applying this force at a suitable point. And in this case, you are changing the direction of the force applied. So therefore, you are applied here, which is at the free end of the axle. Let's discuss some important give reasons. The upper circular stone of a hand flour grinder is provided with a handle near its rim. The answer for this is the moment of force is directly proportional to the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the axis of rotation. So a long handle near its rim at a maximum distance from the center. This will enable it to be easily rotated about the iron pivot at its center by applying a small force or a small effort at the handle applied normally. Next give reason. For turning a steering wheel, a force is applied tangentially on the rim of the wheel. The sense of rotation of the wheel is changed. So what is the reason? The sense of rotation of wheel is changed by changing the point of application of force without changing the direction of the force. So it is of the same direction but of different points. Now let's talk about couple. This is also another important definition. First of all, couple. So what is couple? It is two equal, opposite, parallel forces not acting along the same line and is always needed to produce a rotation is called as couple. See, if you represent in this way, then it would become easier for you. Examples are to open the nut of a wheel and to turn a water tap, a key in a lock. What is couple arm? Couple arm is the perpendicular distance between the two forces. The two forces cannot produce translational motion as the resultant sum in any direction is equal to 0. Now let's talk about moment of couple, which is equal to either force into perpendicular distance between two forces. This is the mathematical expression. Next, let's talk about for equilibrium of bodies. This is also a very important question. I think you should put a star mark for this. So if the algebraic sum of all the forces applied is equal to 0, so they do not change the state of rest or linear motion. And if the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about the fixed point is equal to 0, so they do not change the rotational state of the body. What are the different equilibrium? Before that, let's learn about the state of equilibrium. When number of forces acting on body produce no change in the state of rest or linear or rotational motion. First of them is static equilibrium, when a body remains in a state of rest under the influence of several forces. For example, a body on table does not move. This is because the applied forces are equal and opposite along the same line, so they balance each other. Here, the normal force balances the weight of the body. Thirdly, the beam is balanced in a horizontal position. This is because the clockwise moment of force due to the object on its right pan balances the anti-clockwise moment of force due to the weight on its left pan, and the beam has no rotational motion. That is, it is in static equilibrium. What is dynamic equilibrium? When a body remains in the same state of motion under the influence of several forces. It's called as dynamic equilibrium. For example, an aeroplane moves at a constant height when upward lifted on it, which balances its weight downwards. Similarly, a stone tied at the end of a string, when it is whirled in a circular path with a uniform speed, it is in dynamic equilibrium. The tension in the string provides the centripetal force required for the circular motion. So this will be the tension applied, which is equal to the centripetal force. Next, another important question. According to the principle of moments in equilibrium, this will also be helpful in solving various problems. Sum of anticlockwise moment is equal to sum of clockwise moment. The device that verifies it would be a physical or beam balance, which works on this principle. Next, another important definition in both: center of gravity of a body. What is it? It is a point about which the algebraic sum of moment of weights of all the particles constituting the body is 0. Its position depends on the shape, that is on the distribution of mass in it. And second, it is not necessary that the center of gravity always be within the material. For example, if you consider this circular fingering, then the center of gravity would be in the hollow circle that is provided. Next, by concept of center of gravity, a body of weight W can be considered as a point particle of W at its center of gravity. This means that all the mass is concentrated at this particular point, which is called as the center of gravity. This is the list of all the objects and the center of gravity. So the object is rod. For it is the midpoint of rod. For circular disc, it is the geometric center. Solid or hollow sphere, it is the geometric center of the sphere. For cylinder, it is midpoint of the axis of cylinder. For solid cone, it is at a height upon 4 from base on its axis. This means that if you consider this cone, this solid cone, then the center of gravity would be located at a height which is 1/4 of the total height of the cylinder. For hollow cone, it would be at height upon 3 from base on its axis. For circular ring, it is the center of the ring. For triangular lamina or scalene triangle, it is the point of intersection of all the medians. For the quadrilaterals, it is the point of intersection of the diagonals. If you're interested to know why it is h upon 4 from the base, like the center of gravity is h upon 4, then you would see this. It uses derivatives and calculus, so you should know it. When a body is freely suspended from a point, it comes to rest in such a position that its center of gravity lies vertical below the point of suspension. Next, an important differentiate: uniform linear motion and uniform circular motion. In this, the speed and velocity is constant. In this, the speed is uniform, but the velocity is variable. Acceleration would be 0, and this would be an accelerated motion. CF is for centrifugal force and CP is centripetal force. Centrifugal force and centripetal force, they are not action and reaction force, as they do not act on the same body. Next, centrifugal force is not a real force. It is just a fictitious force which is assumed by an observer moving in a circular path along with the body. So centripetal force, it's a real force which is equal to the tension of the string. Okay, thank you so much.